excited about Myanmar and North Korea. He's here to tell us why. Jim, through much of your new book, you say the reason you love Wall Street is because of your passion to know what's going on in the world. You now are keen on figuring out what's going on in North Korea and in Myanmar. How are you going about trying to invest there?
Well, my passion is the world, and I get especially excited when I see something changing, something dramatically changing. And North Korea has been a disaster for a long time. Myanmar was a disaster for a long time. And when I see things like that changing, and frequently since I pay attention to this sort of thing, I see it early. I could tell you nothing about the National Basketball Association. I could probably not name one single player in the NBA. But I know a lot about things like North Korea or things that are going on in the world. I would love to find ways to invest in North Korea. The only way I know right now is to buy stamps or gold and silver coins. But even those aren't that easy to find. There's no stock market. And short of moving there, there's not much you can do. Likewise, well, Myanmar, there are more ways to invest. It's opening up faster. They're developing a stock market. But these are places that have been terribly depressed for a long time, where there are exciting changes taking place, lots of natural resources, cheap labor, disciplined labor, many, many great advantages.
In terms of China, you say one of the things that excites you the most is tourism. Could you tell me a bit about that?
Well, for 300 or 400 years, the Chinese have not been able to travel for circumstances, decline, war, civil war, et cetera, and then communism, of course. They couldn't even get passports, much less leave the country. Now they can get passports. Now they can take a lot of money out of the country. And the government is encouraging the citizens to travel. There are 1,300,000,000. That's a billion with a B. I can remember when the Japanese suddenly started showing up in New York. People said, where did all these Japanese come from? There were only 125 million Japanese. So you can see the staggering potential there is for Chinese tourism. And they're going to see their own country. They're going to see the world. I mean, it's going to overwhelm many, many places, and it's wonderful. Fortunes will be made.
You say in the book the black market is indispensable to one's insight into a country. How is that?
Well, because first of all, if there's a black market, that teaches you a lot. There's something wrong here because there are controls of some kind, which means that the currency or the commodities or the country, the economy is being badly run. So that teaches you right away there's a problem here. And then you find out what kind of black market. Is it a really strict black market? They put people in jail. That's very indicative. And then if there's a big premium, if the black market has a 20% premium, that's one thing over the government rate. If it's got a 100% premium, you know it's got serious problems.
Could you give us? You're also critical of Jim O'Neill's take on the BRICS. What do you disagree with?
Well, first of all, India's not a well-run country, with all due respect to you, who's of Indian heritage, I know. Brazil, whenever there's a bull market in commodities, Brazil does well, but Jim didn't understand that. Never been to Brazil, didn't know much about Brazil's history. So Russia was a disaster. I just told you I've been bearish on Russia since 1966 until recently, and one should have been bearish on Russia since 1917. Other than China, he really didn't understand. I've told this to his face, so I'm not talking behind his back. He didn't really understand, and he'd never been to those countries, except for China. China he got right. The others he'd never been to, and he didn't get them right.
You also don't see eye to eye with Stephen Roach. What's your biggest gripe with his analysis?
No, I like Stephen Roach. No, that's incorrect. What I said about Stephen in the book was that Stephen he became the head of Asian investment for Morgan Stanley, having never been to places like India, for instance. And I remember the first time he went to India, he wrote this thing about complaining about how difficult it was to get from Delhi to Agra, to the Taj Mahal. He said it took us 4 hours, even though it's only 120 miles or something. He said there are all these problems. What he didn't understand, it always takes 4 hours to get from Delhi to Agra, because India is such a mess, such a very, very badly run country. It's a horrible bureaucracy. I love India.
But so do you disagree with him then?
No. Most things I don't disagree with Stephen Roach at all. There have been times when I've had different views from him. No, I was just commenting on the fact that here was somebody who didn't know anything about India, who'd never even been to India, but was named the head of Asian investing at Morgan Stanley.